Welcome to the Halo Outreach Podcast, where we reach out to you, the Halo community, to keep you up to date on everything that's going on in the Halo universe.
What is going on, people of the universe? Welcome to the half centennial mark of HOP, episode 50. Very special, very surprised that we even made it this far, that me and Kevin are completely sick of each other yet at 50 episodes. We probably are, but we work through our kinks in our relationship just for you beautiful people.
It's for the content, man.
Yes, for the content, we overcome everything. No, honestly, when we first started this, I did not think we would, already reach to 50. It's kind of flown by. So, I mean, we like doing the podcast. This is our chance to not only present you people with the Halo news for the week, but it's kind of, me and Kevin are very busy in our own respective ways. We are good friends still, though, so it's like our chance to kind of catch up. And that's kind of the perfect setting for a podcast, it's supposed to be a conversation. It's supposed to be two people kind of just shooting the crap and, talking and stuff. So
exactly,
you guys get a genuine conversation of me and Kevin trying to catch up with each other while also doing what we do best, present you guys with the news in the Halo universe. So welcome once again, guys. Let's start it out with Kevin. How the hell are you? How's your week been?
Week's been doing well, man. Mourning the loss of Eddie Van Halen. That was a blow to me over the week. I play guitar. I've been playing since 2001. Well, fall of 2001 is when I got my first guitar. And listening to Eddie Van Halen, that was like one of the first people I learned how to play guitar from. And then listening to him play, I tried doing it. I'm like, maybe I'll just play Nirvana for now.
Yeah, he's kind of a master.
But eventually I got to that point. I actually posted an Eruption cover on Twitter earlier today just because I was like, man, just going right down nostalgia lane and relearning that solo and just be like, man, that thing, it rips. I love that. Eddie Van Halen is like true. If there was a guitar Mount Rushmore, he'd be up there with like Hendrix and like the other guitar legends up there.
The number one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And his brother's not too shabby on the drums either.
Oh yeah, not too shabby either. And then for gaming wise, though, I've been playing some Halo. If you might assume, just kind of grinding out those seasonal challenges, the weekly challenges, and things like that. I feel like I played something else, and I've been playing a little bit more Warzone actually recently. Just because like the whole Call of Duty hype with Cold War coming around here pretty soon, this kind of got me into playing more Call of Duty. Yeah, that's I'm
kind of excited for.
If you have Comcast, actually, if you have Xfinity Internet, you can get early access to the open beta for the Xbox and PC.
So, like the one time being a Comcast person, actually pays out, and you get a perk for once. I'm happy for you. All the data caps and BS you have to deal with Comcast it's all worth it. I
get to play the beta 2 days earlier.
Yeah,
but so I got that. So I've been kind of playing a little more Call of Duty. I still love Warzone. I think it's probably still my favorite battle royale until Halo comes out with the battle royale. I'm just saying.
Yeah, mine is still Apex, which I've been playing quite a bit lately. I always go back to Apex for whatever reason.
But what else have you been playing besides Apex and Halo?
Well, that's it. But you do know that I reached a big milestone this week. Got to flex real quick.
Yeah, you did.
Had to do reach over again. Lasso, shout out to Puma for, offering to help me again, even though he already had the achievement. So finally got 100% on MCC. Really happy about that, honestly. And next is freaking max rank on MCC, which I got to start working towards.
I don't think that's not like humanly possible.
Dude, people told me I wasn't going to reach 152 and I did it in like 6 months. So
that's humanly possible.
Go ahead.
You know how much XP you need to get that? Like,
yeah, I'm halfway there.
Mintbits has been eating, sleeping, and drinking MCC, and he still has 3 more tours to go through.
Dude, we have a long time before Infinite comes around. All right.
You think so?
And now, since I'm done with my achievements, at least 6 months, I would say. Now that I'm done with my achievements, that is going to be my primary focus. And once a double XP weekend hits, I'm vowing I'm going hard. Okay, going hard that weekend. I'm almost to my gold. I'm about to hit the gold with the sword background. So
yeah, that's what
once I hit
blue.
Once I hit blue, then then we'll be good here. But yeah, I mean, that it personally, it meant a lot to me when MCC first came out, dude. I was like, I'm not doing all the achievements. Like I had done every achievement for every mainline Halo before MCC. Once I saw Lasso and speedrunning were on there, I was like, no way I'm getting it done. But 5 years without a new Halo title will make you do pretty incredible things and
not only
pretty rash decisions.
Not only doing it once, but actually doing it twice.
Doing it twice, yes, because MCC decided to not give me credit for 4 missions halfway through the campaign, which isn't even possible on the playlist. Either you start the playlist at the beginning or you restart it. So somehow, some way, 4 missions got deleted out of my progress. So we had to redo the whole campaign over. And yeah, I mean, it was a really special moment. It was really cool to hit 152 on stream. Really cool to hit 100% completion on stream. People dealt with boring Lasso streams, which props to the people for staying. But
it's like, oh snap, we died all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, died again. Oh, cool.
Yeah, but then you get. But I'm sure you can probably play through on Legendary with like an ease now because you know exactly where everything is.
Legendary just became like normal to me. Like it's just like Legendary. Okay, that's nothing.
For me, I'm like struggling. Like I think I tried doing like a CE Legendary playthrough on stream one time. And I put like 5 hours into it. Only got like halfway. I think I got to like 2 betrayals, and I died like at least 250 times while playing. It was not fun.
Yeah, remember when we were doing the flight and we tried to do Truth and Wreck and how on Legendary, and we're like, why? And we just refused to start the mission over. We're like, why do we do this to ourselves?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, I wanted to talk to you too. I'll talk to you about it after the podcast. It ain't for the podcast. Anyways, let's get into the news then. Halo 4 flight news.
Yeah,
Mr. KevinKoolx.
Yes, we got some awesome Halo 4 flighty news goodness right here. Showcase it right now. Basically, as we do every Friday, we get a development update from 343. Since Postums is on an extended vacation, he's using up all his vacation days, like I think it's like 5 weeks in a row or something like that. So Sketch has been kind of giving out these different Friday dev updates, and we actually got some information from this one. Usually his updates are just like, hey, remember there's MCC, go play it.
Yeah, you know that game.
He mentions that currently right now, this is on Friday, as of Friday. What day was Friday?
Friday was
9th.
The 9th.
Yeah, so as of the 9th, it's still in Ring 1 and 2 testing. It's been there for about 2 weeks now by this point, roughly. Usually that's about how long it takes on average when it comes to their testing. And then it says we may encounter some blockers that delay the move to Ring 3, which I think what they might...
It's always possible.
Yeah, very true. And like it's always the MCC to PC process has always been a very fluid kind of process. Like there is no like set deadline or like you have to be out on this date like it is with like say like Halo Infinite or something like that.
Right.
And so they did mention about how some new features like crossplay, input-based matchmaking, and server region selection, that the 3 new features that they're looking to flight for this Halo 4 flight might not make it on the release of the flight itself.
Right.
We say it might get to Ring 3 for Xbox and PC users. Still targeting the end of next week to kick off the flight, so keep your eyes open for that as well. For this flight, guys, keep in mind that if you want to play this flight, you can. Like, it's open to everyone who is signed up on the Halo Insider program can play this flight, will be able to play this flight. And they need to do that because LDST saw a little bit of a downturn in participation, and Halo 4 is not exactly the most well-liked Halo game, especially for the multiplayer side of things when you're trying to test out crossplay and input-based matchmaking.
That's the big difference. I mean, ODST had the hit registration update for Halo 3, which was big, but crossplay is the biggest thing that could happen to MCC right now, along with custom games browser. But we also will be getting the regional server selection with this flight. And like you said, it might not make it at the beginning of the flight, but 343 did say that it could come in a mid-flight patch. So, one way or another during this flight, even if the flight probably has to get extended, we're going to get some form of crossplay. So remember, if you're on Xbox, you get this flight too. So sign up for the Halo Insider program. This will not be the last flight, but it is the last Halo game for now. They say Unisec posted that in the community update. He's like, last Halo getting added to MCC for now. But then he also put in parentheses, sorry to crush your dreams, all you people who want Halo 5 as part of MCC. So they actually acknowledge once again that people want Halo 5 as part of MCC, but there are no plans right now for Halo 5 on PC. I still have a glimmer of hope that that could really come, especially if MCC or if Infinite doesn't come out till, I don't think it's coming this late, but till holiday of next year, the chances of Halo 5 coming to MCC are huge, I think. But if we're getting like a spring release, maybe not so much, because there's still a lot of features that they're working on to bring to MCC. Now, it's not really 343 doing all the development legwork. Their partners are doing most of it, like Saber, like mostly Saber now. I think the other two studios were dropped out recently, so it's really been Saber working with them. So and then they have a production team for MCC at 343. That's a very small team. You know, most of the studios working on Infinite. So
yeah, big majority is working on Infinite right now.
Yeah, like 95% of the studio is on maybe 90% is on Infinite. I'd say even 95. It's a very small team for the MCC team.
I think they were able to fit everyone in a single picture. That works. That's working at 343 for the publishing team.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Halo 4 coming to PC. Honestly, it's really weird. It's had a decent population on Xbox One, even though it is not the best received Halo. It's always had a decent, more than H2A for me. I could always find Halo 4 matches. I would say Halo 3 obviously is number one when searching for games at MCC, but Halo 4 would be a number two whenever I was searching. It's been a while since I searched for Halo 4 because I've been on PC lately playing, and that's obviously not available yet. But there is also a bunch of content coming with the Halo 4 flight. We got Spartan Ops coming, campaign, multiplayer, and like me and Kevin said, the crossplay and input-based matchmaking, as well as regional server selection, as well as an exclusive PC thing, more video graphics options, which we've been looking forward to for quite a while, being able to maybe customize the graphics a little bit more instead of presets like enhanced original graphics or a compatibility mode, basically. We'll maybe have more options like texture resolutions or texture detail settings, shadow resolution, shadow details, things like that. So, and then hopefully they mentioned this in one of the big September update about the interpolation issues with Halo 4, Halo Reach, H2A. Hopefully they get that fixed before launch for Halo 4 so that we can actually uncap our frame rates. And we'll also get text chat too. They really hadn't talked about it in the big September update, which I was surprised, but in Sketch's update there, Kevin, has said actually like text chat, like enable, disable, and also text chat moderation. So maybe we can set up filters or something, or there will be a filter in place where we can still have text chat, but the stuff that probably shouldn't be said will automatically be blocked for people like me and you who are recording gameplay, and then we have to edit that out because somebody wants to ruin it, or
streaming as well.
Streaming which is impossible to edit out. So that would be very helpful. But still have the text chat on, because like me and you said before, it's nice to get into a lobby and be like, oh, are you KevinKoolx? Like the KevinKoolx? Oh, I love your Halo content.
It's awesome to see that.
This morning, they're like, hey, are you the Patman? I watch your videos. I was like, yeah, it's me. It's me. And he's like, oh,
it's
cool.
me.
And somebody else was like, who? I was like, nobody.
And then you just copy and paste your link in that chat.
Yeah, exactly. A little self promo.
Yeah, that stuff's awesome.
It's nice. Those moments are nice, So definitely.
I don't know why. Like it went from just like being way too moderated, where like certain acronyms like NPC would be like asterisked out. I'm like, what? Like why? Or like no big deal or something like that. Like NBG or NBD. Yeah. And that would be like asterisk down. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. And then once they removed it in the Reach flight, it was just the Wild West in the text chat. And then after that, it's been just awful a lot of the times. And so they didn't mention it all in the September update, but Sketch mentions about the moderation thing, which is I think is what people really want, is ability just to like have some of those keywords, you know, you're not supposed to say in public or really
Hard
ever
Rs.
or ever really cannot be shown on stream. That would be pretty nice, you know, or on your videos and things like that. It's, you know how YouTube can just be YouTube can just randomly
scream into a pillow where nobody can hear you. Don't be typing it on MCC, please.
You know, like how in YouTube could just randomly see something and be like, "You're done." You're like, well, what would this other person has like done it 15,000 times? Yeah, but we saw you do it. You know. So we also mentioned about the Halo 4 content, and they have certain kinds of specific playlists that they had set up already for this as well. So we're going to be seeing, obviously, it's like some improved customization and things like that. And we're going to be seeing Forge, Theater, Challenge System updates with Season 4 content as well. So we got like the new Reach armors that are coming in, like GRD, Axis. There's like another one too, like Epicenter or something like that. Yeah, stuff like that. It's coming in. What else? We have like
Halo 3 content for Season 4 as well, which we're presumably, me and you have been talking about getting more stuff in line with what Season 2 was for MCC for Halo CE. So more weapon skins for more weapons of Halo 3 and vehicle skins. So that would be very cool.
Yeah, I want to show this meme particularly because actually 343 responded to this meme particularly. I know it's a meme, but still. So I saw this on Reddit. It says the Patrick meme of, why don't we just take this skin and move it over here? And you think like, wow, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That'd be pretty awesome to see like some of the weapon skins that we got for like the pistol and stuff like that, and move it over to the BR and things like that. Well, Farns from the 343 team over there mentioned, just give a little winking smiley face to it, you know? A little like, hey, I see you there. You know, getting that out, messaging it out. But it makes me think that we'll see some of these camos, like the gold camo. I know a lot of people wanted the gold camo for the battle rifle, some additional weapon skins, some vehicle skins as well. I'm sure we'll see. It'll pretty much get like the full CE treatment for Halo 3 as well. We might even see that coming in for Halo Reach on top of that. I think right now, like 3 and Reach are probably the two most popular games on the MCC. But you can still find games like CE, Halo 2, and stuff like that as well. And so definitely looking forward to that. But I think we're also going to get some advanced customization along with Halo 4 as well, kind of like how we do with like H2A now as well. They did mention different kind of multiplayer game modes we'll be having as well. We have 4v4, 8-player free-for-all, 12-player infection, and BTB. They still say they're working out exactly what kind of settings they want for like the competitive stuff for Halo 4, if that's your thing.
Honestly, Halo 4 had, once they changed it to the Legendary Slayer setting, where you started with BR, AR, no armor abilities, I don't think Sprint was in it either. Maybe it was, I can't remember.
I think it was.
But definitely no armor abilities. And that was really good. I actually really enjoyed that, because Halo 4's BR is actually pretty satisfactory in my opinion. And the ARs,
I just hate the view kick though. Yeah,
but I don't know. I liked the Legendary Slayer variant, and honestly, Big Team's probably that's probably my favorite Big Team battle, and in the series was Halo 4. Yeah, hands down, because it's kind of broken. Like I didn't think I would like it because, you know, spawning with a plasma pistol and stuff, but you know, with vehicles, that's kind of overpowered. But it kind of gave me the option to be that person. Like I would just throw my body at mantises. Like, yo, I have the plasma pistol. I have plasma grenades. I'm taking down this mantis. And it was always so much fun to me. The DMR is a great BTB weapon. One of my biggest problems with like Halo 3's BTB, the BR and leading your shots and stuff, and how inconsistent it could be. And BTB kind of leads to really frustrating engagements. The DMR just being the beast that it is. I had a lot of fun. Like Exile's a great map. One of my favorites in Halo 4. Plays really good in BTB. Ragnarok plays great. Like there's a lot of good. Longbow, I think, was one of them. There's a lot of really good maps in Halo 4 that kind of get overlooked for BTB.
And the maps for the flight will be Drift, Exile, Haven, Longbow, Meltdown, Ragnarok, Impact, Landfall, Skyline, Perdition, and Pitfall as well. Above all that.
Yep. And we also will be getting a campaign playlist called Canyon Combat,
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting.
Is that just like the name
Yeah.
of a mission, or is that like a playlist
No, it's the
name?
name of the playlist.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
like sometimes it's called like tanks, or just they come up with different names for
Tanks,
these
tanks,
playlists.
tanks, 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 tanks.
So yeah,
Also, they got you actually going if you participate with this flight as well, you get a snazzy Halo Insider nameplate on top of that. We're just taking part of the whole thing. This one's actually looking better than like the current Insider nameplate. It's like white text only, and it has like a silver background. It just looks kind of, this one's like clean. You look at it, you're like, very easy to read. Insider, you get to flex on those noobs. So you just sit back and just play the game. Nah.
Yep.
I take part of the game. Flex it.
I help shape the game.
Exactly.
I'm a QA tester.
You go? Yeah. I mean, that's
basically
free labor, man.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, so we got all that's kind of everything going on with Halo 4 flight news. So we should be seeing it probably like either Thursday or Friday, meaning probably like
everything goes well.
Probably like the 15th or 16th of October, which is kind of what I predicted. Anything after the 15th, I figured in October we'd see it.
Which also we'll probably see full release early November unless something goes terribly wrong at the latest December. So usually 2 to 3 weeks after flight, we're ready for full release. So buckle up, people. MCC is about to be complete.
I was actually just thinking about that too. And usually these flights take about 2 weeks. And it seems like we might have the first week be Halo 4, play the multiplayer, play the campaign, all that stuff. And probably next week we'll get the cross-play, input-based matchmaking, sort of region selection. So you need at least a week of playing of that, get people's testing on it. And then usually we get about 2, sometimes 3 weeks after that flight is completed for the game to be released. I'm assuming that they'll probably be pushing for like a November 17th release, since that's the last, not the last Tuesday. It's not the last Tuesday, but like I wouldn't expect them to release the game the week of Thanksgiving. I think a lot of people will probably be like moving out, spending time flying out for times for their family and stuff like that.
Keep in mind that's also, I mean, it doesn't really affect MCC, but kind of cool too. Xbox Series X will be coming out that week
on the 10th.
I think it's the November 10th.
Yeah. So the very next Tuesday after that one.
Yeah.
You got the Halo 4 coming out on the old PC side thing. So I'm expecting it November 17th for that whole thing. I've been pretty accurate, I'd say. I'm forecasting, Kevin. I have 1,000 IQ when it comes to Halo, so I think we can figure this out.
Yeah, we've both said too that it's like it's a pattern. Like usually, unless something goes terribly wrong, 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks being most. It's usually been about 2 weeks after. Ever since the debacle that was the Halo 2 flight and the launch. After that, it's been pretty consistent. Maybe it takes a little bit longer since Halo 3's or Halo 4's never. It's I guess you can look at it both ways. Halo 4 has never been designed at all for PC. It's kind of a evolution of a different engine, but they did port over Halo 2 Anniversary, which uses the same engine as Halo 4. And this is 343's own game, so they're probably a little bit more familiar with the code and stuff like that. So maybe it doesn't take them as long. So we'll see. But I would say lock it in middle November or early December if something goes terribly wrong, which I doubt it. I think they are trying to launch crossplay with Halo 4, so maybe they push that release back to launch those two things alongside each other in case crossplay for whatever reason takes up more time than they think it's gonna than they plan on it. So interesting stuff. But like I said, it's kind of big news for MCC. It's not completely finished, but all the games will be ported over. We're still gonna be waiting into early of 2020 for key features like probably custom games browsers might not make it fully into MCC. We talked about it last episode that they might do a staggered release. So certain games would get like the custom game browser and then, apply what they've learned to the other games in the collection. But things like modding, more modding tools and stuff like that, they said is pushed back into 2021. So, it's not completely finished by any stretch of the means, but the amount of content that we've gotten for MCC, it's been staggering, man. I can't mention it enough every time we talk about this. Like, just where we are now, like the meme, where we started barely being able to play the game to where we are now getting new content, which, speaking on the GRD and the Axis variants, yeah, I always pronounce it wrong too, so I forgive you. They did say, Jeff Easterling did say that there is more helmets that will be on the way that were on the cutting room floor. So that'd be interesting. Like, we're getting new content. It's a passion project, basically. Like, it feels like it's being made by a bunch of fans, almost like El Dorito, where you got like this passion project, and it was so awesome to get all these features that we haven't seen before. I guess this would be a really good segue into our next section, because
yes, it would be.
How many times have I said it on the podcast and just talking, like, MCC is going to be a testing grounds for Infinite. Things they're doing in MCC, we're probably going to see in Infinite. And let's talk about some Halo Infinite armor coatings, because
Yes.
yeah, we got some news on that, along with things like weapon coatings that we've already seen, which are part of MCC now. Also, Season Pass is probably going to be part of Infinite, since it's a free-to-play game. We saw that first in MCC. Vehicle skins are now confirmed for Halo Infinite, which we first saw in MCC. If you buy the Pelican inbound set from Mega Constructs, it's like $150 friggin' dollars. Kevin's dead. Shout out to him. Posted it in the Discord. Somebody who bought it, they redeemed their token online on Halo Waypoint, and it says, you've received the Mega Constructs vehicle coating for Halo Infinite. So a lot of the stuff we're seeing in MCC is coming to Halo Infinite. We've said that several times. So I'm excited for this kind of stuff. We also have the first look at this new render of a Mark 7 Spartan in Halo Infinite. And what was the name of that coating, Kevin? Do you remember? Monarch.
Yes.
Right? And it's brown, has brown in it. So, I mean, ugh. But even
this
worse.
Is purple and gold. What are you talking about?
It's purple and brown.
That's not brown. That's gold.
Let me see what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's gold. So it's from the community update.
That is not gold.
It's like purple and gold would be like royalty colors, and be a monarch would mean that you're like
that
royalty.
Is not gold. That is brown. like a grayish brown. Gold is yellow. How is that even yellow to you?
Well, gold is it's like a brassy gold. All right, give you that.
It's like a very dirty copper, which is copper's like brown.
Well, it's because, okay, when I think of this, it reminds me of the UW Huskies, right? And their colors are purple and gold, which are like this same kind of shading of coloring right here. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'll prove it to you right now.
It's also part of our Chips Ahoy promotion, so that's why I think it's brown. It's a it's a freaking cookie, a chocolate chip. That's what it is.
See, like, okay, if you look in the stream right here, look at this. UW Huskies, yes, that's their logo. That's the coloring.
That's more of a gold. That is not the same color.
Thing.
How do you think that is the same color?
That's the same damn color.
That is not even put them side by side. Please.
Yeah, look at them side by side comparison. Look at this. Look, that's one.
That's way brighter. There's more of the yellow in that. That is brown.
And then that type in colors, you'll see like purple and gold show up right here.
Light brown.
Light brown and gold. Yeah, purple and gold.
Yeah, that's totally what that looks like. No, that is not a gold.
Exactly what it looks.
Look at that gold that you're looking at. Look at that.
Yeah, I have been. I've made like 3 videos off of this one picture.
Sure. Does not surprise me.
Yeah, like that's like, it's like the same thing as like what's the big baddie from the raid in Destiny 2? Like the Leviathan raid. Callus, yeah. It's like purple and gold color. It's like the same thing.
Yeah, that's an actual gold. Like I said, a very bright yellow. That is dark. Unless the lighting is just terrible in that render, that is brown, bro.
Hey, they said they need to improve the lighting, right? So maybe that's just the issue.
Yo, turn RTX on so that can actually look like a proper gold, please. Can we get an RTX off and on meme for that?
Oh my god.
Have you seen Have you seen the other things you can get in this promotion though? Have you seen the other unlocks?
Yes, there's like a Chips Ahoy thing as well with like a like blue, red, and gold kind of coloring through the whole thing as well.
Disgusting looking
It looks
vomit.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad, but
Yeah,
I mean it's another option. Let's see, I got the image
it
right
is.
here in my folders. I can just find it real quick.
There's also a Spartan emblem and player emblem, two separate things. So we will be able to differentiate our player emblem from our Spartan emblem, what appears on our Spartan. Hopefully, I mentioned in my video, hopefully we get a chance to look or actually choose where our emblem goes on our Spartan. I think that would be a really cool customization option to like choose on, maybe even make it bigger, smaller, and put it wherever we want on our Spartan. Would be pretty dope.
Exactly, yeah. And I want to kind of bring up this one point too, since they're called coatings, which is weird because I've never really seen a game called their customization of colors coding. You know what I mean? Like we've seen skins, we've seen camos, or just colors and camos and things like that, but never coatings.
Right.
When I was kind of overlooking that Monarch coding, I noticed there were like some really intricate parts of the armor that were like in the accent colors.
Yep.
If I can, I have to close it. All back. But like there's this one part, like it makes me think like with the amount of customization that's shown with this image, like you could literally spend like 2 hours customizing your Spartan, trying to get everything down just right. The amount of different options that are shown within this image. But though it just makes me think that, like if I can zoom in right here on this image, you can kind of see like, especially like in the arms, within the arms and stuff like that. Like these little strips right here are gold color. This part right here is gold. Like this little part underneath this foot is gold for like the Under Armour and stuff like that. Gold. And then we're even like this little like armpit color right here is gold as well. It's gold. But
and
then
brown.
But then when
what can brown do for you?
But then when you actually look at like the Chips Ahoy crazy ugly one, like look at the different colors. Yeah, look at the different colors on this guy. Like you have three different colors in just the undersuit alone, and and
the visor.
Their
it
colors
looks like like when you're in game design and they use the unfully rendered character models and stuff. Like remember watching the sprint on Halo 5 where it's like there's none of the textures are loaded in the maps or anything around on the Spartans. That's what that looks like. It looks just disgusting. Now I have a theory about the coatings. Like let's talk about this because this is kind of a big dividing point within the community right now. A lot of people are outcrying on Twitter, of course, and Reddit about this kind of thing. So it could very well mean something like shaders with Destiny, which a lot of people don't want to hear. Like people are like, dude, I want my regular Spartan customization where I choose my colors and stuff like that. It could very well be that. I'm admitting that. I'm not saying I think this is what's going to be, but this is my theory that just other things that it could be.
That's kind of what I was getting to as well.
Yeah. One is maybe kind of just being able, if you apply a coating, you can basically unlock more customization. So it will put colors where colors aren't previously able to be put, by default. So like you said, where those accents were, that's part of the coding exclusive thing, where if you're just customizing your multiplayer Spartan without a coding, you would just choose a main color and a secondary that maybe that's just your shoulder pads, not your, little intricacies that the coatings provide. Also, what it could be, because we kind of noticed this with that Chips Ahoy one and the Monarch skin, and you really notice it with the monster skins, even though we haven't really seen any other weapon coatings, that I think Gears Tactics did this, and I want to say Doom did this with their game, but with skins, you can basically make it look like a different material. And with the monster stuff, it looks very chromy.
Yeah,
like it looks like it has a metallic look to it. Yeah, instead of matte. And you could tell with the Monarch skin, it looks like a little bit plasticky or shiny. But then with the Chips Ahoy one, it's very matte and very that whole thing is just gross looking. If you walk around like that, I'm gonna kill you online. I'm gonna target you. If you walk around with that skin, you're getting targeted.
Preferring Pat the Cyberbully.
Exactly. So blue dress or gold dress, Kevin says. Yeah, exactly. This has been all. What do you guys think?
But I think I actually remember seeing it. I saw this dress in both ways. The first time I saw it as like what the black and blue, or the gold and white, and then every time after that, I saw it as blue and black.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird. Like I could never see it as gold and white ever again. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it had to be with the monitor or something.
Yeah.
But so yeah, actually we were kind of. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but what, you're on something else?
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, Gears Tactics did that with basically like you could choose like a carbon fiber look to guns and your character. You could choose metallic looks like chrome looking. You could choose, matte. So different things like that. That would be really cool and really take customization to the next level for Halo Infinite. So it would be very interesting to see what happens. If it is, we know Halo Infinite's free to play. So if it is just comes down to shaders, so be it. I'm sure we'll get the color combinations we want in some sort of shader. I mean, Destiny kind of built that into their shaders too, where some looked carbon fiber, some looked matte, some looked, chromy or very shiny in certain parts of the armor. So I'm cool with it, honestly. That's not that big of a deal to me, because if you take Halo for what it's been at face value, it's always just been choose your two colors and that's it. Or there's a tertiary color too sometimes in some Halos.
Yeah.
And that's it. That you're stuck with that. If we do get shaders or something like that, that provides more customization. Now I'm for more customization and really changing the look, not just the colors, but the actual look of the material. I think is a really cool feature. So personally, more customization options, the better. Like we were just talking about with MCC, you'll probably have an option to turn it on and off if you don't want to see that kind of stuff. That's
I don't think so. I think you'll probably have to see it. You gotta sell those microtransactions somewhere.
Why?
You gotta be able to flex and show off the colors and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, but for the people that don't want to see it, they can just turn it off.
I mean, maybe.
You don't think they would give players that option after introducing that in MCC?
Well, MCC is a little different because you're trying to like respect the legacy and trying to relive that same experience you had like 10 plus years ago.
You're not trying to respect the legacy of Halo Infinite by rebooting it and calling back to the old games and trying to win back the fan base and blah 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 blah.
I mean,
maybe in ranked multiplayer you could turn those on because they are very distracting and your sweaty people don't like seeing that kind of stuff. So maybe that will be an option.
That's true. Actually, just made me think about that. Like most of the game modes you're playing are like red versus blue. So how you're really going to be able to show off like that armor coating that you paid for, or that
right.
And then you don't play free for all. Like how are you going to see your Spartan? Everything's gonna be either red or blue. That's interesting. Also, kind of look at it that way as well. Because like I think I was kind of going on what you're talking about. I think like these armor coatings. Because they specifically call them coatings. I think it's supposed to be kind of like a full set, and that's like what it looks like. And so it's like a Destiny shader in a way. But I think we'll still have like regular customization for your coloring on your Spartans. I was looking at I searched this up while you were talking about the like a construct stuff right here. If you could see, like there's two different Spartans here with like different color visors that we've seen before. And using like yellow and gray or black, whatever as like the coloring. But you see how like very overall color, like big blocky kind of coloring to it, not that detailed. I think maybe you'll be able to color individual armor pieces as a color and just in general. But when it comes to like I said, when I pointed out like those little intricacies of the coloring, they kind of really give like a nice accent to your Spartan. I think you have to like get it in like a armor coating in like the rumored battle pass or some microtransaction that's going to be available for you to pay for as well. It's just, I think it's going to be like a little bit of both. It's going to be really tough though, because for the general consensus, I would say for microtransactions in your AAA games is that we've come to the general consensus of monetize the customization, don't touch the gameplay. Battlefront 2 tried touching the gameplay, and we all saw what happened there. They nearly lost their license with Disney. Right. And so with the amount of backlash that they had, and so it's gonna be a really fine line that 343 is gonna have to ride when it comes to giving players enough customization to make it feel like they can make their own Spartan, while also making these armor coatings something that would be something you'd want to buy, you know?
Yeah.
So it's tough to ride that line right there. So it's a lot, especially with like the long history of customization, the history that Halo has had, for this to be like
Right.
the first game to like not give you full customization, be a little controversial, especially with the Halo community.
Definitely. I mean, 343 needs to apply what they learned with Halo 5, which personally, we all hate microtransactions, but it is a reality in today's gaming. So I accept that because I am a gamer and I still like to play video games. And Halo 5, I didn't have a problem with the microtransactions Halo 5 because I wasn't that big of a fan of Warzone. So, you know, I'm more of a competitive kind of, you know, try-hard player that enjoys arena and loved the arena of Halo 5. So that never really affected me. But at the same time, you know, we got free DLC, which was awesome. You know, that games like COD for the longest were charging for all three: retail, DLC, like season pass, and microtransactions. You know, other games went in different directions. Okay, you pay retail, but it's free for season pass, but you can pay microtransactions, and that helps. You know, they did something cool with helping with the HCS prize pool for Halo 5 with the microtransactions earned. So I thought that was really cool, kind of giving back in a way, helping support the game. But at the same time, I don't like unlocking stuff just exclusively in loot boxes, which we know Halo Infinite won't have loot boxes, but some sort of microtransactions. And for what, like you said, Battlefront 2 did was shady and disgusting. But we can also do another EA game that has, if my dog would shut up, another EA game, I think Apex Legends did it really good. We're showing exactly the percentage of stuff you can get from certain boxes and stuff like that. Just take it over. We'll let him stop barking because my wife's walking through the door, so he's gonna bark.
Yeah, it's definitely a fine line they're gonna have to ride when it comes to doing microtransactions properly within Halo Infinite. Halo 5 kind of had a bit of it was a very gray area when it comes to its microtransactions, because it wasn't pay to win, but you did get weapons and you did unlock weapons and things like that through the loot boxes.
Yeah.
And if you went to the Xbox website, you could buy a pack of Nornfangs.
Right.
That's another thing. So it's like, but then of course
it was basically pay to win, but it was Warzone, you know, so it's not like people care that much. It's more of a casual playlist.
Yeah, and so it's like it really pushed limits to pay to win on that one, especially for Warzone. Luckily that the packs were able to be unlocked in a fair speed to where it didn't really feel like it.
And that's another good balance you have to have, you know. And that's kind of where I was about to go before my dog just went ape on my wife. But you know, like that's where they have to strike that balance. Like you said, you bring up striking that balance, and another balance they have to strike is being able to earn stuff in game. And even maybe some things being only earnable in game, like that needs to be a thing, in my opinion. Not just buy your weight. Like, you know how demoralizing it was. I mean, it's in the big scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. But to unlock Helios Grill and MCC by completing all the legendary campaigns, and then just have that be thrown into loot boxes afterwards by 343. Kind of sucked, man, because you know, you want to flex that on people, like, yo, look, I went through something difficult in the game to unlock this. Now look at my cool armor. You know, like, I love stuff like that, and I really hope Infinite brings that back, to go back to Halo 3, the katana. You know, like, you had to do something for that, and it was a cool thing to show off, and you couldn't earn it any other way. And I get some people don't have the time to dedicate that much time into a game. You know, people have full-time jobs or just don't have as much gaming time as other people, but that's part of the game, dude. Like, you still get to play the game, but if I'm putting in more time and putting in more effort, then yeah, I should get something cool. Like, you shouldn't just be able to buy it. So hopefully they do strike that balance as well.
I think it's also just like a bit of like personal pride as well. Like, you complete a challenge, you get to put it on your character and be like, you look at that armor, you're like, yeah, I did that. I feel proud that I was able to pull that off. You know, but that's armor coatings though. We got one picture, but there's a lot to talk about that one picture, you know. A lot of different things to bring up about it, so especially with all the stuff that we know so far when it comes to armor customizations so far in Halo Infinite. And but yeah, so I think we maybe move on to players updates, I think, for the next set right here.
Good. So as we always do at the end of every podcast episode, we bring you guys the MCC playlist update. So we do have a playlist change for MCC. They rotated in Griffball, rotated out Recon SWAT after, the honeymoon phase of ODST and the weapons coming to Halo 3 multiplayer and that exclusive playlist. But they also added Recon SWAT into the rotation with lower weighting than usual, which means you shouldn't get it as much as standard SWAT, but it is rotated into the SWAT playlist. So if you still want to get a crack at using that sweet ODST silenced pistol, you could somehow get it, in regular SWAT and test your luck there. Now, they also did, which I didn't know about this, and I was doing some XP grinding this morning, increase XP for the medals in ODST Firefight. So maybe we'll have to grind some Firefight because I'm enjoying ODST Firefight. Honestly,
it's fun. It's way much more of a challenge than it is for Reach.
Exactly.
And I recently realized that seasonal challenge where you have to complete 30 match made games. It means to the end complete, not just participate in. And so I've been grinding that one out recently. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure.
Because I don't think I've completed 30. I have all the challenges done, but I don't think I completed 30 freaking things.
Really? Damn.
Well, is that the one that's specific to ODST?
Yes. Specific to ODST for a seasonal challenge, it's complete, Wave Runner.
Maybe I did the arcade version for that because it's much quicker.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, if you do an arcade, it's much easier to complete all the rounds. And so then I was just doing that a lot last night, and I was just kind of getting through it way faster than I was in regular Firefight. Which, by the way, I had the most epic Firefight game last night. It was so awesome. Yes, there was a wave and a half left. We have no lives left. I was the last guy on the battlefield. Slaying.
And you didn't choke.
It was in Reach, and the last 2 rounds were straight to nothing but elites and chieftains, that come at you. And I was able to solo it on my own, carry the team to victory. I think I had 197 kills in that game, and everyone else was 60 to 30.
You gained 3 subscribers from that carry. They're I gotta look this guy up.
I was any gifters in the chat? No, but that was I was very happy about that. That was a personal victory right there. And I don't think I've ever played Firefight that well. Usually I just kind of mindlessly just shoot things and just kind of go.
Kevin is not that great at Firefight. Kevin, stop running out Endure Challenge. Go check out the video, guys. We yell at Kevin a lot in that video.
Hey,
we love him. We yell at him.
But once I went to the stoop kid strategy, then it completely changed. Yeah, so just stayed on the stairs and never left, and then we ended up winning easily.
So you don't want me to cross this imaginary line? No, Kevin, you are not allowed to walk past this line. So that's our update for MCC. If you guys watched the last podcast episode, well, you would know this, but if you're new here, welcome, first of all. Second of all, October is a celebratory month for Halo 5. It is the birthday month for Halo 5. 5-year anniversary for Halo 5, and the whole month global double XP is active, which means double XP for everything, all playlists. So right now is Forerunner Slayer that rotated in for Shoddy Snipers as of October 8th, but coming up on October 15th, Rock and Rail is coming in for Forerunner Slayer.
That's the game mode.
That's the game mode, people. Usually featured game mode is double XP anyways. However, like I said, since it's global double XP, everything's double XP, but still Rock and Rail, if you get a decent, even if you get one squad mate with you, that's decent. You can basically finish a game in about 3 minutes, and the XP gains are tremendous in Rock and Rail. Tremendous. Okay. Look at my small hands, even though mine aren't small. It's an amazingly fun playlist as well. Time will fly by. Playing Rock and Rail. It is definitely one of my favorite playlists in Halo 5. We will also get Warzone Assault going live for the weekend on October 15th, so you guys can play that. And a reminder will remind you on next week's episode as well. But if you log into Halo 5 on October 27th, which is the actual birthday of Halo 5, which is funny because my wife's birthday is the day before, so I remember ignoring her for her birthday weekend when Halo 5 came out. So October 26th is my wife's birthday. October 27th is Halo 5's birthday. If you log in that day specifically, you will get a free rec pack of the Greatest Hits customization pack.
Oh, really?
So,
Yeah.
yes. Oh. So,
I mentioned it right here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mentioned it last week, Kevin. Pay attention. Come on. Pay attention. Look at me. Look at me.
Look at me.
Look at me. I am the playlist captain now. Okay. All right. So that is your playlist update, guys, for MCC and for Halo 5 for the 152 grinders out there. Let's get into the end of the show, guys. So, Kevin, if people are looking to find your content and want to subscribe to your YouTube, follow you on Twitch, on Twitter, things like that, Instagram, and even if for whatever reason you want to go to a dead Facebook page, where can they find you?
Couldn't tell you. Yeah. Facebook.com/KevinKoolx, YouTube.com/user says KevinKoolx, Twitter.com/KevinKoolx Halo because my previous account was stolen by Nigerians. Instagram.com/ it literally was stolen by Nigerians. But the email was, so I had to make a new account because it was the whole thing there. Instagram.com/KevinKoolx. Post a lot of on the Instagram, I do like to post like screenshots and different kind of like highlight clips and stuff like that that don't usually work out too well, like on Twitter or on YouTube and stuff like that. So some unique content going on up over there. I actually just posted my cover of Eruption by Van Halen on there as well. Get to see some shreds. I'm not talking about lettuce. I'm talking about the guitar.
Jesus.
You can also check out our podcast on Spotify and Podbean if you don't want to waste your phone battery while listening into our amazing voices right here. Links in the description down below. Pat, where can we find your content on the internet?
Well, thank you for asking. So, just any social media link you prefer besides Facebook, because I don't have Facebook anymore. So, youtube.com/thepatmangaming, twitch.tv/thepatmangaming, instagram.com/thepatmangaming, and you guessed it, twitter.com/thepatmangaming. As well as, I got to do a better job of using Instagram. I keep saying that, and I don't do it because like a lot of my family follows me. I basically converted my personal account into, because I don't want to keep up with two separate accounts, into my Instagram account. So like my mom follows me on there, and I don't want to post all this freaking Halo stuff because she's just gonna be like, oh my God, you're so obsessed with Halo, and I'm just don't want to hear it. So yeah, maybe one of these days I'll finally just,
It's actually pretty easy to manage it too. Like on Instagram, because if you attach your secondary account, you literally just like click on your name, click on the second account, and boom, you're there. It's actually pretty easy.
I can't be bothered, Kevin.
That's what I did. Yeah, I put I converted my personal account to the gaming account and made a new account for my personal stuff, but just like families and friends. But yeah.
So definitely. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 50 of the Halo Outreach Podcast, or HOP for short. We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. It will be up on demand in case you guys missed it and you want to see our lovely faces. It will be up on both of our respective YouTube channels, and we hope to catch you guys on the next episode. Until next time, goodbye, Spartans.
Chief out.